Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. We are back on the Ninja account. It feels like forever since I've made a video. um, it's been a really crazy time for me. Started my old job new again and trying to figure out, how to fit in content creation, sleep, and everything just within my schedule, right? So we're getting there, just working out the kinks, basically, a life change there. So I feel like I haven't done a lot. My clan was supposed to go all out on this Clan V clan, and we just I want to say accidentally, but that's not the right words. But we ranked up to rank 5 in Clan V clan, and we're not remotely prepared to be rank 5 now. There is some good news from that. I did get good rewards. I didn't get gear, obviously, but I did get good rewards, and I think the gear that I did get, I think the cursed set pieces, were not very good, and that's why they're no longer here. Because I should have got cursed set, if I'm not mistaken, in the yeah. What were the regen pieces though? Let's take a look at just new and see. Okay, so I must have already looked at the regen pieces, so we can just. So it was a 6-star weapon with crit rate and HP percent. Okay. I mean, that could be, if it rolls right, that could be a really good piece to fill out some crit rate in the future. So, but I think the two cursed pieces that I got were flat stat bottom 3 pieces, meaning that they were gloves, chest, or boots that were just flat stat. And not what I was looking for. And I'm not going to be able to re-roll those anytime soon, so I'd rather have the silver early game right now. All right, so let's talk about the changes that I've been making, what we've been doing. I did build Heffrack into this Savage set. We're still really weak, unfortunately, because we're not leveled up, right? Our attack is really low because we're using percent based improvements to our attack and everything, but we don't have a good base attack right now, only 1,000. So we're struggling there. So he's still not really in a position to be my nuker. Venomage is 60 now, or 6 stars rather, and we are both leveling up and getting masteries simultaneously in Minotaur. So that's what I've been using my energy on. But now we have a really interesting kind of moment, right? So we have some events going on right now. We've had this Dungeon Divers event going for a little bit. But now we also have that crossing over with the Odin tournament. Now, I wasn't originally that impressed by the rewards here from the tournament itself. Now, I do think farming this dungeon is good. I just don't know that it's as impactful for my account with where my account is right now. However, this chest was interesting, right? There's a chance for some primal quartz. There's a chance for some soul stones. Epic books would be really good. The dust, not so much this early for me, but still, it's good stuff to get. And then a 4-star chicken would be huge. So I'm considering this. I don't think I would win, and I don't know that I want to try to win, but Primal Quartz and the gear would be really good for me. Getting 6-star epic gear, Relentless, can really help me out early game. Earlier today on stream, I did do some more Fire Knight, trying to see if I could finally break into that stage 13. We are very close. We are very close. I do think if I bring in Loki, and I think if I bring in, where is she? High Katoon's Aura, that I'll be able to get enough speed. And with Loki, he has some extra turn meter control in his kit. I might be able to break through and complete it. If Loki doesn't quite work, then I could try again with Tayrell. possibly leveling Tayrell up to 50. But let's talk about what's next for the account. Who is my next 6-star based on the current roster that I have? And I want to talk about this a little bit deeper than just my roster. This is something that keeps popping up in my chat. It keeps popping up in Discord. It keeps popping up in my own clan. And it's the inevitable question that everybody has: who's my next 6-star? So we are now at a really great point to figure that out. It was very obvious who the next 6-star was, or who the first 6-star was, right? I still stand by it. I believe that your rare champion should be your first 6-star. I've ran into many people that disagree with me, but the consensus from the community of raid players is that you're best to start with your rare champion as your first 6-star, because you can fully book them. They're easy to easy to master, easier to gear in some instances, and you tend to get good resources for them early on. Plus, Kayle is a poisoner who can do a lot of damage to clan boss without needing a really high stat threshold. So I stand by that decision. Now, normally I like to go Epic second, but in our case, Ninja's so powerful, we went Ninja second. Happy with that decision. And then when it came to our third champion, Venomage made a lot of sense. It was between Venomage or Tayrell. I don't think either was wrong or right. I think Venomage helps me more in Clan Boss than Tayrell does, but I do still think Tayrell is in the conversation for number 4. So who is the fourth champion that I 6-star? And many of you may be thinking, well, Heffrack. Heffrack would be, right? You're already saying that his base stats are low because he's only 50. If we get him to 60 and we ascend him, his base stats will go up, his damage will go up. You could, see some improvement there. And that's a great point. It's very true. Heffrack is in the conversation because of that. Tayrell is in the conversation, as I already mentioned. We would get this chance for turn meter reduction here. 50% turn meter reduction. Now, Loki's turn meter reduction, or turn meter stealing, actually, is only 75% chance without books, but it books down to a 4 turn. So it's actually very similar to Tayrell's, but Tayrell's is 50% while his is 100%. And it's a steal, meaning we would get an extra turn out of it and could then potentially use some of these other, abilities like Veils, Perfect Veils, buff spreading. So, but I don't know that Loki is somebody that I really want to 6 stars, at least at this point in time. Haikatoon is in the conversation. Haikatoon brings a really, really good aura, the best aura I have available to me right now. She also brings turn meter, potential for turn meter reduction on the enemy team, and then turn meter fill on our team, plus the big version of increased speed, which is very valuable, and then a chance for decreased speed on the A1, which is really good. And then the other one is Claude. I've mentioned this, that Claude, I think, really helps our clan boss team moving forward, because we get a little bit of healing. This is actually kind of valuable, the decreased crit rate. I don't think it's something you really want to go for, but this can be handy to prevent those random crits that can be really annoying in certain fights. But I think the shield is what we're looking for, this big shield here on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. And then, again, we get that increased speed and increased accuracy, which are 2 buffs that we desperately need on this account for the champions that we're building. And so I think my clan boss team, and this was, again, a suggestion from the community, but I think the final version of clan boss team is going to be Tayrell, Claude, and then these 3. And I think that's really going to help me out. Tayrell would be the lead because we would do the increased defense for some more survivability. We'd be a little bit slower without the speed aura, but we would be tankier. And then we're also going to get increased speed from this, as well as a big shield to hopefully give us some more survivability that way. So it's kind of hard to say. I think Half-Rack would really help me in Arena, but I'm happy with where I'm at in Arena. Um, Haikatoon needs to be at least leveled to 40. And Haikatoon will it's really hard right now for me to replace Spirit Host with Haikatoon because I don't have anyone else to bring increase attack for my nukers. Half-Rack I thought could get away with it at 50, but he can't. I need to get him to 60 in order to get more damage out of him. Because we're not booked in any of this stuff. We do get the increased crit rate and increased attack here, but he's just not putting out the damage that I need him to do. So it put it in perspective. We've got 3,200 attack on Kale. 3,200 on, let me make sure I read that right. 3,200 on both. Yeah, 3,200 attack on both, where Half-Rack's only got 2,700 right now and no crit damage. We've got way more crit damage on our higher level champions. So I haven't quite made up my mind. I think Loki is going to be fine at 50. And I think books need to play a factor in this as well. So we do have Tayrel booked how we want. No more books on Tayrel. Venomage is fully booked out. The remaining books are going to start to go to Claude. Because again, Clan Boss is the primary focus. But I think I'm leaning in the direction of Tayrel. I'm going to explain to you guys why. I think when it comes to the legendaries, I think we're a ways away from really building a good Half-Rack. Yes, I've managed to make Savage work, but we have 0 crit damage in this build. Until I can find a way to incorporate more crit damage, because I don't have any amulets at all, into this build, I don't think that he's going to be able to hit as hard as we need him to. So we're a ways away, I think, from Half-Rack. I think 6-starring Half-Rack now is only going to hurt my progress later. It'll be better to 6-star Half-Rack later when I can actually give him the resources that I would want to, right? Be able to. I want to be in a position where I can farm the books that I want for him. I want to be in a position where I can, get the gear for him to be able to farm higher levels of Fire Knight to potentially get some other pieces in here that might bring some crit damage along with crit rate, maybe eventually getting him into some crit damage gloves, right? But we're at a good start. And honestly, like, while this is not a very good piece, and this one did not roll very well, there is definitely some opportunity here. We just need to get some really good other gear, and we may just run him at, an early game build where instead of having him at 100% crit rate, which I've talked about before, we won't go into it here, just keeping him at 70 and using this. So, we may be able to get away with that 70% crit rate if we get lucky on a few other pieces. But to get there, to be able to farm the stages of difficulty that we want, I think that Half-Rack just needs to have a seat for a little while right now. And I think Tayrel brings a lot to the table, not only for Clan Boss, but also for every area of the game. He's my decreased defense champion for Arena now. Increasing his stats will increase his effectiveness of being that champion for me. He also brings turn meter reduction on this A3. This can help buy me more time in Fire Knight so I can finally complete stage 13 and get that challenge done. We have a double hitter on the A1, good for Fire Knight. This also brings a backup version of increased attack that can help fill in whenever Venomage's decreased attack is on cooldown. Or if this one is a weak hit for whatever reason, there's a chance that maybe this one can go off. Likewise, we're getting extra decreased defense. He's also defense based. The more I level him and the stronger he becomes, the more effective I'm going to be in the game, because he's going to do more damage, but also live longer, which is crucial. And it's been very, very important for the type of build that I'm going, right? Every DPS champion that I have right now is based on debuffs. Um, and so we will benefit from a tanky, survivable team a lot more than just trying to go quick and get all those attacks in fast. So I kind of think that Tayrel is the answer, and then Claude would be the one after that, so that we, and I'm okay waiting on Claude a little bit, because we will be waiting about 2 weeks before we can start booking again. We've got 3 books ready to go. We'll be able to put those books into Claude and hopefully get him, because he's not that bad for books. He's not great. But if we can get this down to a 3-turn cooldown, that's going to be very good. And then we want to try and get this down to a 3-turn cooldown as well. We don't care about the A1 too much, but I would like to do that. I would like to go in that order. And so we have about 2 weeks to get Tayrel leveled and finished, and then we can potentially, hopefully, get Claude to 50. And then once Claude is at 50, we'll be able to book him up, and then he'll be my next 60. And that will be my starting clan boss team. Now, all of this can change. All of this can change, because we don't know what the future holds. We don't know what's going to come in the next few days regarding champions that we may pull during 2Xs. We don't know if we may be able to do any of the upcoming events. I don't think I'm going to be able to go for Freya, but if I was able to, that'd be really cool. I don't think so. I think she's going to require probably about the equivalent of 20 Sacred Shards. Probably we don't have nearly that. So, yeah, it's but that is the plan for right now. I think I can already. Okay, I'm very close to being able to 5-star to 5-star Tayrel. But I have to be careful about that. We don't necessarily want to do that right away, because I then have to level him back up. And so what I've been doing so far. Oh, sorry. Let's pause before I kind of go on that tangent and we talk about missions. So I kind of screwed up. We were stuck on a mission for a little while to get the 6-star of Venomage. I was able to pull that off, but I was so distracted and busy between Clan v Clan and Hydra this past week. In fact, that's why I haven't been streaming and recording a lot, because I haven't had time to fit all that in and still also have time to record. Because of that, despite that I could have done this yesterday, this mission, I wasn't able to. Because I didn't know it was a mission I could do. Or I had to do, rather. So I kind of got myself stuck. So we're stuck until, I think I said yesterday, but it was probably 2 days ago that Magic Keep was open. Because, no, tomorrow's Friday. Yeah. So anyways, it doesn't matter. Either way, this won't reset until tomorrow night. And then we can go into Magic Keep. We can get all of that done. And then we can push really hard. We'll get Minotaur. This is really easy. We're going to push all the way up in here to Arena. And that one's going to take a while. And then once we do that, other than waiting for Spirit Keep to open, and Force Keep to open, and Void Keep to open, it's a pretty straight shot, other than that, to get, all of these I'm able to do. 4 champions to level 6 of Ascension. Okay, and that counts if they've already been done. Oh, 4 champions to level 60. Okay, yeah. So we're 3/4 of the way on that one. But we are well on our way to Arbiter. And fusing Relic Keeper, we already have all the requirements for that. Here they are right there. Boom. So I'm keeping copies of everybody so that we can do that. In fact, I gotta make sure I vault him. All right, so I have 1 copy of, oh no, let's do vault her too. Because I think she was part of it, right? Yep. Sorry for that, guys. I would edit that out, but I don't have the time. And I don't know if it's allergies or if I'm just coming down with a cold. Now that I'm back to work, I'm around a lot of people, around a lot of people again. But I do want to talk about other areas of the game that we've been working on. So I have been consistently doing the Forge Pass. And this is really, really crucial for, how do you, okay, you slide, okay. So as a free-to-play account, there's a lot of gear coming out of this, okay? So we got 3 Slayer rings and tomorrow, or at reset, we're going to get 3 Slayer necks. And these are going to be really, really handy. But then, of course, once we get to the end, we'll get the materials to craft Slayer gear in the Forge. This is the only gear I didn't craft during Clan v Clan at a 5 or 6 star level, and hopefully get access to the extra crit rate and crit damage of that set. Hopefully, of course, right? But the crit rate alone is going to be really good. Now, I am a little curious what happened to my rings. There's one. Okay, so Ogryn Tribes, Sylvan Watchers, and Skinwalkers got the crit rate rings. Okay. That might be pretty good. It's an attack one. I was thinking about Claude for a second, but still, having access to some good gear is really going to help. From this pass. So I've been doing very well. I'm on pace. So we have 2 weeks and 6 days. So that's about 20 days. And I think I did a count on this, and it was 17 days. Because you do get, I think I've said before 3, but no, that's incorrect. So each of these is 10, right? And you get 4 challenges each day that are worth 5. So you level up 2 each day. And so I ran the numbers on it, and it was about 17 days, and we have 20 days to do it. So I am very on pace for that. If you are a low spender or looking to be a low spender, this is not a bad one to put your money into, because you do have the chance to get really good accessories from the Slayer set, which can give you that extra crit rate that you sometimes need to finish a build. If we go over to my free-to-play account, you'll see, like here, I'm using a slightly weaker crit damage neck to get the crit rate that I want on my Sun Wukong. So stuff like that can really help. So definitely focus on this event. If you haven't started already, it is too late to finish it, but it's not too late to get maybe some of the accessories along the way. Not to mention that free-to-play accounts are really going to benefit from accessories in general right now. And like, this is 6 accessories. They're 5-star epic accessories. That's going to be really good. So if you can hit 41 still, it might be worthwhile for you. But challenges, no real update there for challenges. We're still waiting to finish Fire Knight. I think I used all my affinity stuff. I may not have. I may have forgot to use some of this. I think I did, right? Yeah, I never came back and used it. I was just stretched too thin across all those accounts, but we're going to let this go for a little bit. And we're going to go to 5 on most of those other areas. So next Clan v Clan, 2 weeks from now, we're going to knock all that stuff out. But that's pretty much where we're at. So we're on a good pace for Arbiter. We kind of talked about the events and stuff. So what am I doing with my energy? Well, while I'm actively playing, I am currently leveling up here. I don't know if I have. I'm just shy of getting the 4-star here, leveling this guy up to 4 stars. I'll need to level up one more uncommon champion, but once I do that, that food will be for Tayrell, and then I'll put Tayrell in here too. So my active energy is just going towards leveling up champions. What do I mean by active energy? When I'm actively playing the game. Now, when I'm passively playing the game, using multi-battles or whatever, I'm using that in Minotaur to get War Master on my Venom Mage. I'm also leveling there, double dipping, right? I'm gaining levels while doing that, and I'm gaining masteries. We've almost got Venom Mage back up to level 50, which is where they were. So pretty happy with that. As far as the gear, I should consider leveling some of this up to 16. I do need to take a look at gear in general, and we might re-gear. But I also have a lot of Clan Gold. And I'm curious about how I want to use this. When we do have access again to Killstroke gear, which I would like to be able to go with, because while the accessories are good, I don't know. I can farm consistently Spider, but getting 5 to 6 star gear is still a struggle. I'm still getting a lot of 4-star pieces. So getting a minimum of 5-star gear, I think, is pretty good. Let's just grab one and see what we get. That was a chest plate, which is risky because that could be flat stats, which is not fun when that happens. Yeah. So flat defense, not ideal. Not able to rework it. So that probably just gets sold. And that's the problem with this, right? That's why you don't hear a lot of people talk about this. Like these rank 4 chickens would have probably been more value for me right now than the Killstroke gear. But if I can get lucky, like a shield, let's see what we get on that. Boom. And that's why we do this, right? That's a great piece. This is a great piece. If we take this to 12 real quick, there's a lot of crit rate there, extra crit damage, and then if I can manage to make a set out of this, a 2-piece set, then we're able to get 20% more crit damage. The fact that there's crit rate on that in general may actually change the course of gear that I use. So I may actually find a use for some other helmets. That's too much crit rate that I would lose there. But if I happen to have like a better piece of Savage elsewhere on the account, like if these were speed boots or something, I don't. Let me check all the Killstroke gear that I have. Yeah, I was going to say, I do have these crit rate gloves as well. So there is that potential, if I was able to find Savage boots or something, that I could get a Killstroke set onto Heffrack potentially. So that's why I'm doing it. Like there's good upside. Maybe less so, maybe more downside as well, but we're going to go again here. And there we go. So let's see what we get. Again, I don't necessarily recommend doing this. If this is your first playthrough and you're playing long-term, or this is going to be your long-term free-to-play account, there we go, some crit damage, speed, and accuracy on a 5-star piece. I like that. Defense percent. 6 stars defense percent instead of the 5-star defense percent, but no accuracy or speed. So this is still better for Tayrell. This piece I don't know is going to really make the cut, to be completely honest. No speed, no accuracy, defense percent and HP on a Killstroke. It just doesn't really make sense that much what we're trying to do. Was this the other piece that I got? This helmet. We've got crit damage and attack percent and defense percent. I would rather have the accuracy, but this is really good, again, potentially for a nuker. So if there was a scenario, if we look at Savage gear and then, nope, equipped. So there may be a scenario where I'm able to drop a piece, or maybe I just get rid of, maybe I ignore for the time being, get away from Savage. You know, that way I can get more crit damage or something. But who knows what the future holds, but I don't mind spending my clan resources in that way. I don't recommend it for you, but for me, that's pretty helpful for where I'm at right now in the game. I've got access to some good pieces that could really help me out. I don't think I need to do that after this week. I think by the time next Clan v Clan comes around, I should be farming at a consistent enough difficulty that I don't really need the 5-star stuff out of Killstroke anymore. But like right here, like even this weapon, speed and accuracy and attack percent, like this could be really good for Ninja in the future. If I can ever get away from lifesteal, or maybe if I find a better piece of lifesteal somewhere else. Like for example, what's this? Does this have crit? It's got crit rate on it. Yeah, I don't know that I can quite get away from some of these pieces, but I do have on lifesteal, I do have some good boots. Speed with crit damage and accuracy. So if these were 16 comparing here, we would make up the speed difference. We would it says we're losing crit damage, but then I'd be able to potentially fill out the build with one of those other pieces that we pulled, right? We might not have enough crit rate in doing so, but yeah, there's that. I'm giving myself options for moving stuff around. So anyways, that's what's going on with the account. Oh, wow, we're at 32 minutes. Went a little longer than I thought because I was just kind of going down some rabbit holes. So, as always, thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed my content, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support me. And that's everything. Take care. I'll see you all in the next video. Oh, I'm streaming tonight, Thursday night. It might not be Raid Shadow Legends, but I will be streaming tonight. Take care.